Good morning and welcome to Radio Friends on Friday, October the 16th. I have two guests in the studio with me today. Social distance, they're husband and wife, Gary and Debbie Wunder, both from the National Federation for the Blind. Good to have you both here today.
Glad to be here.
And
Thank you.
Gary has been a regular guest with us from time to time, talking about National Federation for the Blind. And this was the first time Debbie has been here. Good to have you, Debbie.
Thank you.
Now, Gary called a couple of days ago, and he said, when I come on, he said, how about if I bring my wife on? Because we've got two different ways of getting around. He said, I get around with a cane, and my wife uses a seeing eye dog. And I thought that'd be perfect to talk about the difference between the two. So let's start with you, Gary. Why is it that you use a cane instead of a seeing eye dog?
I use a cane because it's low maintenance. When I get home, there's no need for me to groom it. There's no need for me to bathe it. There's no need for me to take it out when it's raining.
To go potty?
Yeah.
The cane doesn't have to go potty.
No, it doesn't have to do that. I don't have to feed and water it when I'm sick, and I don't have to worry when I'm sick. But mostly it's not that I am anti-dog at all. I'm just pro-cane, and the cane works for me.
Okay. Now, Debbie,
Yes.
you chose to have a seeing eye dog. Why?
Well, first of all, I'm a huge dog lover, and
God bless you for that. So am I.
Yes, and I like, man and dog working together as a team, and he fulfills a lot of needs that I personally have. I'm diabetic, so I have some neuropathy in my feet, so I can't always feel a change in surface, and I find him very helpful. I don't worry about that with him. And also, I tend to not always walk in a straight line, so he's always going to walk straight.
So you have complete faith in your dog.
I do.
He can lead you across a busy street, down the sidewalk, and you're not concerned about it.
No, I'm not concerned. And part of his training has also been to be disobedient when I've made an error. He is working on the commands that I give him. But for instance, if I don't hear a quiet car and I tell him to move forward, crossing the street, he will be disobedient, and he will stand across in front of me as to say, no.
Really?
Yes.
So if you're getting ready to cross the street, you don't hear a car coming, and you tell him to go, he sees a car, he'll stand in front of you and stop you from going.
Yes. He'll say no. No, it's not
How many
time.
times has he done that?
Well, honestly, Paul, during the pandemic, probably not as many times as you would think in a year, almost. But he has done it. He has told me, no, it's not time yet. So
That is amazing. That is absolutely amazing. Now, I asked you, when you fly on the airplane, he comes with you. Now, he's a big dog. I would say he weighs probably about 85, close to 90 pounds. Am I right?
he's 75.
75.
Yeah, but he's tall. He's
Yeah.
a tall dog. Yeah.
So when you fly with him, where does he go on the airplane?
I always try to get a window seat assigned to me, and he will go underneath of the seat in front of me.
That big dog will fit underneath the seat.
He does. He goes right underneath, and he kind of feels like he's in his little kennel or something, and he goes to sleep until we land.
And he'll stay under the seat the whole time during the flight.
He will, with people often saying, oh my goodness, where did that dog come from when we start to disembark the plane?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's such a special bond that both of you have. Gary, you can't have that with a cane.
No, but of course I get the benefit of she has the dog, okay? So if I want to pet the dog, I get to pet the dog. If I want to
long
play
as he's
fetch
not
with
working.
the dog, I can play fetch with the dog. I get all the benefits of having the dog.
But you don't have the responsibility.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Now, as far as him being a guide dog, a seeing eye dog, if when you're walking, is it not appropriate for people to come up and pet the dog?
No, it really isn't, Paul. The dogs love people, and of course they love attention, but it's distracting to the work that they're doing. If you, for instance, said hello to him or, hi, good dog, he's going to turn your way and look, and maybe he'll miss the flight of steps that he was going to tell me were there in front of me.
So to our listeners and viewers, if you see someone with a guide dog, just as much as you want to pet it, ignore the dog. Unless you ask the person, can I pet your dog?
Yes.
That would be appropriate.
It would be appropriate. And what I hope will happen as well, that if it's a day that I feel it necessary to say, no, I appreciate you asking me, but he's working right now, to not be offended or have your feelings hurt, because it really is a safety
I understand
issue.
That.
What
I
I'm
understand
surprised about is I used to think that the public didn't know, but lots of times when I see people interfering with Gino's work, they will say to Debbie or to Gino, I know I'm not supposed to pet you, but, and then they'll give some reason like, I have a dog of my own, or I train dogs. Like that makes it okay. It doesn't make it okay. You're actually telling me I'm not ignorant of the law, but I'm going to break the law.
Okay, so the bottom line is, if you see someone with a guide dog, don't go up and pet the dog unless you ask. And if they say it's better if you don't, there's a reason for that.
Right. And don't talk to them. That's another thing. They'll think because they're not touching, a lot of times people will come up and talk in baby talk
Yeah.
to the dog.
Really?
Yes.
Is there
yes.
any place that you cannot go or that you don't feel comfortable going with your dog?
No, he is allowed to go to any place that the public goes, but he has to, that comes with responsibilities. So he must be well behaved. He must, be clean. So no, he can go anywhere. And I have to tell you, sometimes my stomach might bother me a little bit when I'm calling for an Uber or a Lyft, because sometimes you'll run into a driver who says no. Which is against the law, actually, but it does happen. But no, he's welcome anywhere.
So
I
you've
go.
had an Uber or a Lyft person refuse to take you because of your dog?
Yes, not with this dog, but with my retired dog. We were in Florida, and we had a driver who said no. And I have to be honest with you, I continued to get in and explain to him that it was the law.
Did he take you?
He ended up taking us, and at the end, he felt much better.
All right.
Yes.
Gary and Debbie, thank you so much for coming by.
Thank you.
Thank
and
you.
your doggy, thank you. I won't talk to him. He's resting there beautifully. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having
Okay,
us.
if there's something you'd like to hear or see on our program, I'd love to hear from you. Drop me an email, pepperp@missouri.edu, and when you go out and about, please put that mask on. Okay? Bye-bye.